I'm Ella, and last Thanksgiving was one I'll never forget. My family invented a lie just to keep me out of dinner, and I was the only one excluded. They sat around the table, laughing, celebrating, acting like I didn't exist. All because I'm an AC technician. But here's the kicker. I was the one covering my sister's college tuition. The very sister who was too ashamed to even acknowledge me. The family that happily accepted my money didn't want me at their table. That's when I made a decision that would change everything. The neon sign of my HVAC shop buzzed faintly as I locked up for the night. Seattle's cold air cut through my jacket, but my chest felt warm. Thanksgiving was only days away, and for once, I didn't have to worry about work orders or emergency calls. Everything was set. I'd scheduled jobs, prepared bonuses for my team, and even picked out a nice bottle of wine for dinner. As I climbed into my truck, my phone rang. My mother's name lit up the screen. I smiled, expecting her usual pre-holiday chatter about pies, pecan or pumpkin. But the tone of her voice sent a chill down my spine. "Ella, honey, I wanted to talk about Thanksgiving," she said, hesitant, unlike her usual sharp, clipped voice. Something felt off. "Sure, what's up?" I replied, shifting into drive. There was a pause, just long enough for my stomach to tighten. "We think it would be best if you skipped dinner this year." I nearly swerved. "Wait, what? Skip dinner? We always do Thanksgiving together." Mom sighed softly, the kind of sigh that usually meant a rehearsed excuse was coming. "Well, it's just Saraphina's boyfriend is bringing his parents, and we thought it might be better if it was just close family." I scoffed. "I am close family, Mom." "Of course you are, sweetheart," she said quickly, the forced sincerity dripping through. "It's just professional families have expectations. It's important for Saraphina to make a good impression." There it was. The truth hit me like a gut punch. My job, my life wasn't good enough for them. "So what, Mom? Because I don't wear a suit and tie, I'm not allowed at the table." "Ella, don't make this about you." She tried. I laughed, humorless. "Oh, I see. So it's not about me at all. Just making sure Saraphina isn't embarrassed by her lowly sister." Silence. That was enough. I couldn't believe it. After years of helping Saraphina, paying for her tuition, making sure she never worried about a thing, I wasn't good enough to sit in the same room as her boyfriend's family. I hung up, sitting in my truck, gripping the steering wheel, trying to process the humiliation. Then my phone buzzed again. A text from my cousin Genevieve. "I need to tell you something. It's about Thanksgiving." I hesitated, then opened it. She had overheard a conversation between Mom and Saraphina. Saraphina had admitted she didn't want me there, afraid it would make her look bad in front of Dorian's parents. "I don't want them to think we come from a working class background," she had said. I read the message twice. My own sister, whose tuition I had paid for years, was ashamed of me, ashamed of my work, my life, everything I had built with my own hands. I gripped my phone so tightly my knuckles turned white. Looking back, the signs had always been there. She never invited me to college events, avoided introducing me to her boyfriend, changed the subject whenever friends asked about my work. I'd ignored it, convinced myself I was paranoid, but this was undeniable. Thanksgiving came, and for the first time I spent it alone. I tried to distract myself with a long drive, coffee at a diner, even calls to friends, but nothing eased the ache in my chest. That evening, I gave in and checked social media. There they were, smiling, perfect family photos. Saraphina in a sleek dress next to Dorian, his parents polished and beaming. And I wasn't there. Something inside me shifted. If I wasn't good enough to sit at their table, then why should my money keep funding her life? That night I made a decision that would change everything. The next morning I woke up with a clarity I hadn't felt in years. It wasn't relief exactly, more like a sense of freedom. I brewed my coffee, sat at the kitchen table, and opened my laptop. Logging into Saraphina's university payment portal had become second nature to me over the years. I knew her account better than my own streaming logins. The upcoming tuition was $21,500 due in 2 weeks. I stared at the number, my fingers hovering over the trackpad. I had covered every semester without hesitation. But this time, my cursor moved to remove my payment method. A small pop-up appeared. Are you sure you want to remove this account as a payer? This action cannot be undone. I clicked yes. Mom called immediately after. Her voice was sharp, exasperated. Ella, what are you doing? Good morning to you too, Mom. I said flatly. Don't play games. Saraphina just called hysterical, saying you cut off her tuition. Tell me that's not true. Oh, it's true, I said. There was silence, then a sharp intake of breath. Ella, how could you be so cruel, cruel? I laughed bitterly. Interesting choice of words, considering she got me disinvited from Thanksgiving because she was embarrassed by me. She meant it exactly that way. I promised to support her through school, not someone who treats me like I'm disposable. Mom exhaled in frustration. You're overreacting. Family sacrifices for each other. I swallowed back a bitter laugh. Funny how that only applies when I'm giving. When it's my turn to expect basic respect, suddenly I'm asking too much. She needs this, so did I, but I'm done cleaning up after her. There was a pause, then Mom asked in a forced, patient tone, so what do you expect her to do? Just drop out? Not my problem, I said flatly. She pressed, find someone else to foot the bill. Like who? I snapped, you and Dad can't afford it. You know that. And there it was, the truth. They never expected her to handle her life on her own. They expected me to bail her out. Not this time. The hours after cutting ties were eerily quiet. No calls, no guilt trips. Just silence. Peaceful, uninterrupted silence. For the first time, I allowed myself to breathe. Genevieve finally broke the silence. Saraphina moved back home. She said cautiously, taking a break from school to figure things out. Your parents, struggling financially, still blaming you for everything. They won't admit you were right. I nodded, unsurprised. Sounds about right. Jen chuckled softly. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. A small smile tugged at my lips. Thanks, Jen, anytime, and Merry Christmas. You deserve a good one this year. The day before Christmas Eve, I sat at my desk, reviewing expansion plans for my HVAC business. It was growing faster than I ever imagined. More clients, more employees, more opportunities. For so long, my success had felt like something I had to downplay. Not anymore. I wasn't ashamed of the life I'd built. I was investing in myself, not in people who saw me as nothing more than a walking bank account. That night I wound down for bed, my phone buzzed. A message from Mom, Merry Christmas, we miss you, let's talk. I stared at the screen. A year ago, I would have jumped at the chance, let guilt guide me. Not this time. I took a deep breath, exhaled slowly, and deleted the message. For the first time, I chose myself, and it felt damn good. Saraphina's world started unraveling almost immediately. The first call came less than 24 hours after I cut her off. She called, my phone buzzing relentlessly. I ignored it. Voicemail after voicemail piled up, her voice growing more desperate each time. "Elle, what the hell? My tuition payment was declined. Call me back." I let it ring. Texts followed. "If you don't fix this, I won't be able to enroll next semester. You can't just do this to me." I typed a response, "Not my problem." But I deleted it. She wouldn't understand. No message could make her see the years I had spent making her life easier. She only noticed what she had lost. When she realized I wasn't responding, she turned to the next best target, Dorian. She showed up at his apartment, hair a mess, eyes wide with panic. He barely opened the door before she pushed past him, pacing frantically. "I can't believe this. Elle cut me off just like that. No warning, nothing." Dorian frowned. "Wait, Elle, your sister Elle." "Yes," she snapped. "My tuition didn't go through. I tried calling her, but she won't answer me." He paused, frowning. "Hold on. I thought your parents were paying for school." Saraphina froze, unprepared. "Well, they help, but Elle covers most of it." Dorian's brow furrowed. "Most of it, how much?" She laughed nervously. "I don't know, a few payments here and there. All of it," he corrected. Her face drained. "So let me get this straight. Your sister paid for your entire education, and you let me think your parents were covering it." She waved him off. "It's not a big deal." Dorian's voice hardened. And wasn't Elle not invited to Thanksgiving? What was that about? Her mouth opened, but no words came out. He pieced it together. The sister who had funded her entire life wasn't good enough to sit at the dinner table. His voice was calm, but it carried an edge. Saraphina scrambled to explain. "It was just appearances, Dorian. I didn't mean anything by it." He shook his head. "You mean the world where you lie about who actually helps you. The world where your sister isn't polished enough to impress your friends. That's your world." Her throat tightened. There was nothing left to say. That night her phone buzzed, an email, final warning. Tuition payment past due. Payment not received within 48 hours. You will be unenrolled. Panic set in. She tried loans, cosigners, anything to keep her spot. Denied. Denied again. She scrolled to my name, hesitated, then pressed call. But the screen flashed. "User has blocked you." For the first time, Saraphina realized how alone she really was. Anger followed quickly. She stormed into my office the next day, disrupting a staff meeting. "You ruined my life," she screamed. I stayed calm. "No, you ruined it yourself." The office fell silent. My employees exchanged nervous glances, but I didn't flinch. She was trying to hurt me publicly. "You abandoned me, you left me with nothing." I crossed my arms. "Funny, I don't remember you calling me your sister when you lied to your boy friend about who paid your tuition." She tried a different tactic, raising her voice so everyone could hear. "She abandoned her own family. She's selfish." Nothing. The room stayed silent. No sympathy, no outrage. Just quiet disapproval. Then Harry, my senior employee, stepped forward. "Ma'am, you need to leave. This is a place of business, and you're trespassing." Saraphina shrieked. "I'm her sister. You don't understand." Harry remained calm. "She's not letting you take advantage anymore. That's it." Security arrived minutes later, and she was escorted out as she screamed and cursed, her voice echoing down the street. Just like that, she was gone. Later that night, Mom called again. "Elle, we need to talk." I didn't respond. Dad called. "Honey, maybe things went too far. She needs help." I laughed bitterly. "Let me guess. You think I should fix everything again?" Mom tried reasoning. "Maybe we can work something out." I shook my head. "I'm done. Find another ATM." For the first time, I truly felt free. No calls, no guilt trips, no manipulation. Just quiet. Genevieve finally broke the silence. Saraphina moved back home. She's taking a break from school and your parents are still blaming you for everything. I nodded. I had always known. I just hadn't been ready to accept it before. By Christmas Eve, I sat at my desk reviewing business expansion plans. My success wasn't something I had to hide anymore. I had invested in myself, not in people who treated me like an ATM. That night, Mom texted, "Merry Christmas, we miss you, let's talk." I deleted it. This time I chose myself, and it felt incredible. Life has a way of teaching hard lessons, especially about family. Walking away doesn't mean you don't love them. It means you've learned that loyalty shouldn't be one-sided. Your worth isn't measured by what you do for others. You deserve respect, even from those who share your blood. Months passed. The chaos that Saraphina tried to stir had settled into a quiet, almost serene routine. Without the constant drama, I was finally able to focus on my life, my work, and my personal growth. It wasn't easy. Messages from my parents still arrived, laced with guilt and subtle reminders of family duty, but I didn't respond. I realized that protecting my boundaries was not cruelty. It was survival. One evening, as I reviewed my financial reports, I noticed something remarkable. Despite all the stress, my business had grown exponentially. Without distractions, without trying to fix others, I could finally pour my energy into my own life. My sister's betrayal had inadvertently become the catalyst for my freedom. A friend, Lena, asked me once, "Aren't you worried about Saraphina, about what your parents think?" I shook my head. No, Saraphina had every opportunity to respect me, and she chose manipulation instead. My parents, they'll understand eventually. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I'm not responsible for their growth. Empowerment isn't about making others suffer. It's about claiming your life, your peace, and your dignity. I had learned that sometimes the people closest to us can hurt the most, but we are not obligated to endure abuse or manipulation in the name of family. Then came the day Saraphina reached out one last time. Her message was simple: "I'm sorry. I don't expect anything from you. I just wanted you to know." I paused before replying. And then I did something I had never done before. I let it go. I didn't respond. No explanations, no lectures, no reopening old wounds. I simply moved forward. That's the final lesson I want to share. Your value isn't defined by how much you give to those who take without gratitude. Protect your energy, set your boundaries, and never apologize for prioritizing yourself. Love yourself enough to walk away, even when it's hard, and watch how your life transforms. Sometimes the harshest betrayals are the ones that teach us the most powerful lessons about resilience, self-respect, and freedom. And when you finally reclaim your peace, you realize no one can ever take that from you, not even family. Life is too short to live on other people's terms. Own your power, protect your peace, and never, ever let anyone convince you that loyalty means sacrificing your dignity. The next chapter, that's entirely yours to write.